This is, or was, Sandals South Coast, tucked away in Jamaica's remote Whitehouse area. For travellers who truly knew the island, this was the real Jamaica. 500 acres of untouched nature preserve, 2 miles of the most pristine white sand, all facing a perfectly calm turquoise sea. This is what's left. A 500-acre wound. A 2-mile scar where paradise used to be. On October 28, 2025, Hurricane Melissa, a Category 5 monster, made landfall. This wasn't just a storm. It was an 185-mile-per-hour sustained wind event, the strongest hurricane to ever hit Jamaica in recorded history. This resort and the nearby town of Black River were at ground zero. I love this island. I am devastated for its people. But what you're about to see is not just a story of destruction. It's a $7 billion story of what happens when a record-breaking force of nature meets the soul of a nation. And the fight to rebuild. To understand the devastation, you have to understand the geography. This isn't the busy northern corridor of Montego Bay or Ocho Rios. This is the South Coast. It's Jamaica's breadbasket. It's remote, it's peaceful, and it's home to some of the island's most historic communities, like Black River. And on October 28th, it was completely exposed. This is ground zero. The storm's approach was a slow-motion nightmare. For hours, the sky turned a toxic, bruised grey. The winds began to whistle. Then, that whistle became a shriek. Then, the eye wall made landfall. This was a 185-mile-per-hour sustained wind hurricane. That means the gusts, the sudden, violent bursts of wind, were even higher. NOAA, a hurricane hunter aircraft flying inside the storm, clocked gusts as high as 252 miles per hour. A force of nature that is almost impossible to comprehend. For 6 relentless hours, the eye wall hammered the coast. Reports from the resort's own weather station showed peak gusts of over 150 miles per hour, right before it was completely destroyed. The full 185-mile-per-hour sustained winds and those 252-mile-per-hour gusts then tore the resort apart. And when the sun rose, the full horror was revealed in its most heartbreaking specific details. This is where the Overwater wedding chapel stood, a place where hundreds of couples started their lives together. It wasn't just damaged. It was gone, wiped off the map. And here is the truly insulting part of this tragedy. Just steps away, the Latitudes Overwater bar had literally just reopened a couple of months prior, after being completely rebuilt from a previous Category 3 hurricane. And the recently renovated Overwater bungalows, they were built strong. They withstood the eye wall. But reports confirm both were left with significant, heartbreaking damage. The bungalows and bar were battered, but the chapel was erased. This is the terrifying selective power of a 185-mile-per-hour storm. This is where the story truly begins, because the company at the heart of this, Sandals Resorts, isn't a foreign corporation. It is a Jamaican company started in Jamaica by a Jamaican, the late Gordon "Butch" Stewart. Think about this. The company operates 19 properties across the Caribbean. 8 of them, including their Beaches brand, are in Jamaica. Nearly half of their entire operation is on this one island, and all 8 were in the path of this storm. All 8 were damaged, and some were nearly destroyed. This was now the epicenter for a $7 billion catastrophe. The destruction wasn't isolated to ground zero. The storm's path carved a wave of destruction across the entire western half of the island. It surged east, causing massive flooding and catastrophic structural damage at Sandals Royal Caribbean, and even at their original flagship resort, Sandals Montego Bay. And while other resorts like Sandals Negril and Beaches Negril were also damaged, they were thankfully spared the same level of total destruction. But here's what the aerial photos of the resort don't show you. This was never just about a luxury hotel. Just a few miles away, the historic town of Black River was being torn apart. Reports from the ground state that 90% of the homes in Black River lost their roofs or were completely destroyed. The storm surge inundated the town. It smashed the local fishing fleet. It tore the roofs off of homes and guest houses that have stood for generations. And this town, and the small communities around Whitehouse, this is where the staff of Sandals South Coast live. While the world saw a broken hotel, the real catastrophe was unfolding for its people. The parishes that are home to the team members were annihilated. In the initial days, scores of people were confirmed killed, a number that tragically continues to rise, as many are still missing. Over 25,000 were displaced. This is the human cost. And then came the financial cost. This is where a natural disaster becomes an economic apocalypse. The initial reports from the Jamaican government were staggering. The preliminary estimates for the damage are not in the millions, they are in the billions. $7 billion. To put that in perspective, that is more than the entire annual budget for the Jamaican government. It is an incomprehensible number that threatens to erase a decade of economic progress. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness confirmed this is equivalent to 30% of the country's entire GDP. This wasn't just a storm. It was an event that erased 1/3 of the nation's economic output in 12 hours as it carved its way across the island. The Prime Minister himself said, "We have never had a disaster of this magnitude." This is the rabbit hole. It goes deeper than anyone imagined. How does a country, a resilient, proud country, but a country still reliant on tourism and agriculture, even begin to come back from this? The answer lies with the very people who were just made homeless. Sandals Resorts is now run by Adam Stewart, Butch's son. He has been coordinating the company's response from day one. He was facing an impossible set of facts. His company's resort at Ground Zero, South Coast, was gone. His original flagship, Montego Bay, was crippled. Nearly half his company's properties were in a disaster zone. And most importantly, thousands of his team members were now homeless. Think about this. The team members at Sandals South Coast, the gardeners, the chefs, the housekeepers from Whitehouse and Black River, didn't just lose their place of work. They lost their homes. They were, at the exact same time, both victims of the storm and the first responders for their families. The standard corporate playbook says you get your assets open, you protect the bottom line, you furlough staff. But Sandals did the opposite. In the immediate aftermath, they focused on their people first. They provided food, water, and supplies to their teams and the surrounding communities. And then, they did something that shocked the industry. They announced that the other 5 resorts, the ones that could be repaired, would reopen for guests on December 6th. But they also announced that in the 5 weeks leading up to that date, all team members would be given a paid period of rest and recovery. This wasn't a layoff. This wasn't a furlough. This was the company paying its team to not work, so they could focus on their families, their homes and their communities, before returning to welcome guests back. This wasn't a PR stunt. This was a Jamaican family taking care of its own. The road back is long. This is the after. The damage here at South Coast and at the flagship Montego Bay and Royal Caribbean was so severe, so catastrophic, that a simple repair isn't possible. They must be reborn. These 3 resorts will undergo a complete restoration and rebuild before they can reopen on May 30th, 2026. But this is the before, and this is the promise. This is the resilience of Jamaica. It's not just about rebuilding a resort. It's about rebuilding a nation. It's not just about rebuilding. It's about building better. And that effort is already underway. The other 5 resorts are on track to open their doors to guests on December 6th, 2025. This is the definition of resilience. The island will be back. The Jamaican people are strong, and they are already rebuilding. Both the resorts and the island are one and the same. They are resilient. They will be back, stronger than ever. I'm showing you this because I love this country, and seeing this destruction, seeing what an 185-mile-per-hour storm with 252-mile-per-hour gusts did to Whitehouse, to Black River, to the entire South Coast. It's heartbreaking. But seeing the spirit to rebuild, that is one of the most powerful things I've ever witnessed. The spirit of Jamaica is unbreakable, but they need our help now. The Sandals Foundation is the philanthropic arm of the company, and 100% of every dollar donated goes directly to programs in the Caribbean, not to admin, not to overhead, directly to the people. Their mission is focused on disaster relief, rebuilding communities, getting supplies to the people who lost everything, and rebuilding local schools. If you've ever visited Jamaica, if you've ever listened to its music, if you've ever been touched by its culture, now is the time to give back. This $7 billion story ends one of 2 ways: with a nation defeated or with a nation reborn. Knowing the Jamaican people, I know which one it will be.